Hopefully I can do this correctly. It's been forever since I done uploaded a video or even recorded a video. Not really surprising. I mean, it's only been technically 2 months, 3 months if you want to count me technically being in the video. But yeah, I didn't feel like putting my contacts back in because I went to sleep with my contacts in like all night, so I'm giving them a break. And in my last pair of contacts till I go to the eye doctor. So I ain't got time to be messing them up. So you get glasses and unsponged hair because I'm gonna sponge it tonight before I go to work. But I honestly wasn't gonna do this video until I thought about it. You know, I'm being a little productive today, getting some stuff done because mostly just be sleeping. But we're gonna talk about some, I guess, some changes that's been going on with life. Yeah. So I'm trying to get a thumbnail picture since I can take pictures while I'm recording. So, hold on. Okay. So the first change I want to talk about is this right here. If you watched my it's kind of awkward because I can't switch the camera. I'm just showing it. There you go. That works. If you watch my Batman Last Night on Earth Build-A-Figure wave, then you would know that him having arms is significant because I gave up at the end of the video trying to put arms on him because I was struggling. And I saw that Shartimus Prime, he was the only person I watched talk about it, so I don't know if anybody else had any problems with it. But he was the only one that I watched talk about it, and the stuff he had to go through, I was like, bump it. I'm not going to sit here and do all that just to put this figure together when I already know it's going to fall back apart. So I wasn't too worried about it. And then I think probably like a month ago, I was like, you know what? I can't in good conscience display him with that Batman figure if I'm not going to put the arms there. I was just going to put it up, to be honest with you. And something said, just shove the arms in the sockets. Just see how that worked. And plop, it locked in. And yeah, now he got arms. But what makes me upset is probably a couple days after that, I was on Instagram and I follow Todd McFarlane because, well, I follow his toy page because I think the McFarlane line of DC toys is pretty good. There's some figures I wish they would do. We're going to see if they do or whatnot. Probably won't get them. I ain't been buying too many action figures lately. But I saw on his Instagram, he posted that he was re-releasing that wave. And it comes with an already put together Bane. And that makes me a little upset because, one, I really could have just waited for that. And two, it shouldn't have been that difficult to put Bane together in the first place. Even though I feel like that Bane would probably still fall apart. Because the problem with mine is the leg socket doesn't go in all the way. Well, it goes in, but I'm pretty sure like if I rattled him a little bit, it'll fall apart again. And it's like, it's still not a well put together figure. So maybe the re-release will do it better. If not, I don't know. I'm not going to spend money on it. Anyway, that's the smallest change that's been going on. There's been a lot of changes. I'm not really going to talk about all of them. I'm still kind of in that place where it's like I don't upload videos on YouTube like that anymore because, well, videos like this. Anybody who's been keeping up with my channel, which I don't even keep up with it, so I don't blame you for not keeping up with it. But of all the 27 subscribers I got, I'm surprised y'all still here. Appreciate that. I uploaded some Twitch live streams that I did. I haven't been on Twitch either. Because my original plan was to just upload the Left 4 Dead videos that I was doing on Twitch. Because I was like, you know, I get some practice in, live streaming, I get to play Left 4 Dead. And I really get to figure out the kinks and stuff like that. My laptop's kind of slow, not surprising. My webcam is decent, but it's old, so it isn't gonna be the best that it can be. Like, I think it pretty much captures me in real time well enough, but the lighting and stuff like that, the quality of it isn't that great compared to a webcam that I'm considering buying. But I'm not gonna say it's been discouraging, but it's been, I was just gonna keep doing it. But I got a new job and I work overnight, so I don't really have that time to live stream, which I could do it during the daytime, I feel like, if I really wanted to, but I don't. Because I kind of fell off the whole uploading really anything about anything. Because I don't know, it's been interesting. So on the topic of new jobs, I ended up leaving Firehouse about 2 3 months ago. Long story short, with that, just a lot of internal conflict that I couldn't be a part of anymore. And honestly, it was a pivotal moment because it was like either you leave now or you're never gonna leave this job and you're never gonna be happy. And I feel like the opportunity presented itself pretty well for me to leave, so I did. And the funny thing is, I was depressed being unemployed because, my idiot self didn't think about applying to jobs up until after my last day, which, ironically enough, you can tell a lot about your job based on your last week there and how much they don't care about you. So I went through a lot of crap my last week, and that kind of reminded me that I will never ever go back to it because it's shoot. I still talk to this person that works there, and it doesn't sound like it's getting any better. And honestly, I'm glad that I jumped ship when I did. So, this was just the problem of being unemployed. Because at first it was like, oh, I'm taking a couple days off to really recharge because I haven't been in the greatest spot working there. So it was good to take that time off, and I started applying to a bunch of different jobs, which, funnily enough, with the pandemic and stuff going on, which South Carolina doesn't really acknowledge past the point of you can wear a mask, or you don't have to wear a mask, or get vaccinated. Between all that, you would think more people would need jobs and they would be hiring, but I've applied to like, let's see, Sam's, Walmart, Kroger, Aldi. I think I was gonna apply to Lowe's, but they didn't have a job I was interested in, or that I felt like I could do. A couple other places because I made sure that Firehouse would be the last fast food job that I would get into. I worked at Wendy's. We're not even gonna talk about how rage inducing working at a popular restaurant with a drive through is not the best place for you to work at. And I'm glad, at least, which didn't really make a difference considering my emotional state at the time, that I started when I was about 19, or I think I was turning 19. It was either 19 or 20. I think 19 when I worked there, because I cannot imagine being a teenager that had to go to school and deal with that on top of working a job like that. Of course, for me, I took a lot of things more seriously than I needed to. That's one thing I will say about the younger generation that I've worked with since I've started working. Y'all don't care about nothing. I've dealt with so many people that just come to work and like don't care. And honestly, it can be annoying when you have to lead those type of people, because I was a manager at Firehouse and I dealt with a lot of those people because that's all they would put me with. And they were cool, most of them. There was a couple of people that's like, I can't even, the only reason I can excuse how you act is because I know you're young and dumb. It's always the men. I don't know if I've said this before on YouTube, but young men are terrible workers. The best employees that I've worked with have been young women. And that's not coming from a place where it's like, oh, you like women, that's why you say that. No, the young women have work ethic. Some of the best work ethic I've seen working at these two jobs. And I'm not saying all young men are terrible, but a good bit of the ones I've worked with have not been the best. and have been annoying. And it's even more annoying when you can't fire people when you know they're not gonna work out. Nobody listens to me. So there's that. Um, yeah, I I can't do fast food anymore, especially not a drive-through. That's the only reason I considered going to Firehouse when I went, was not having a drive-through, which just restaurants in general have their own complications. You know, the biggest jobs people complain about, retail, fast food, because the customers, especially the white people, and I'm not even being racist right now, but older white people, well, white people in general, they're just older than me most times, are terrible customers. And when you're working in an environment where it's already like you have internal business problems going on, whether it be management, lack of anything. I've been to Wendy's where we didn't have any nuggets. And this is when 4 for 4s are popular. You run out of nuggets, you run out of fries, you run out of a lot of stuff. Stuff that didn't happen before management changed. Same with Firehouse. We've had days where we run out of bread, a whole bunch of stuff. This isn't slander to any specific person or anything. I'm sure this happens at plenty of other restaurants. But it's just when you have that type of conflict going on already, and then somebody catches an attitude when you calmly explain to them, hey, we don't have this, this, and this. Not my fault. Sure, I might be the manager, but I ain't got nothing to do with what my boss does or doesn't do. It's not something I can just readily go and fix. I'm telling you what it is, and you can just deal with it or you can get out. Simple solution, right? No. So when you deal with that, and then you deal with those type of people, which I mean, black people are terrible customers too sometimes. Those are the loudest. But I've had plenty of white people that would, I'm flashing back to this one thing now, where one of the girls I was working with was trying to help this dude out figure out what he wanted, and he just got mad and stormed out. And before he walked out the door, he turned around and said something, and was just like, have a nice day, like, get out. I don't your opinion is invalid because it's just you. Nobody else is complaining about this person up to you. And those are the type of things you deal with. Luckily for where I work at, you know, I'm overnight, so I deal with customers, but not to the extremes that I've dealt with before. So that's good. And then most of my shift doesn't even, I think I work with customers for about 4 hours out of my 8 hours that I work. You know, it keeps to myself. I don't have to worry about any personal relationships because there's so much drama that comes from dealing with people that you don't even realize until you're in the thick of it. And that was the problem I had at Firehouse, you know. And at the end of the day, you know, with all of this stuff going on and all the stuff that you possibly have going on in your life, at the end of the day, I would say choose happiness. If you're not happy at a job that you're at, or there's something you feel like you're losing or missing by being at this job with all the things going on there, or all the things you have going on, don't be there. It's too much death going on in the world for you to be sitting at a job stressed out, when at the end of the day, they need you more than you need them. Which is a easy thing to say till I realize that it's harder to get a job than you might think. Which I have qualifications for any job that I want, but it's just hard to really display that when you don't work there. So going through, it wasn't even a full 2 weeks. I think the first week I was fine, and then the second week it's like, dang, I ain't never gonna get a job. I'm getting broker and broker, and here I am just depressed, which it's not a good place to be in. Depression is never a good thing to deal with. And I think I talked about this before, how my depression had got worse last year towards the end of the year because of different things I was dealing with. On top of that, this year, so much has changed this year. More death, you know, losing the well, I wouldn't say losing the job. It wasn't necessarily lost, but not having a job for even the shortest amount of time that I didn't. It's just not having a steady income, thinking about all the things that you feel like you have to do in the world. It's just not a good place to be at. And depression was kind of kicking my butt. Luckily, I will say, through all the things that I've been going through, I have had one person that stuck by my side. for basically all of it, and I really appreciate her. I tell her, and I keep telling her more often, because it's like you don't really have too many people like that, especially considering where I'm at now. I've been pretty much isolating myself from everything, because I always talk about on this channel getting to a point where it's like you don't talk about a lot of things you have going on. I've been kind of keeping things to myself, because the last time I really talked about the things that I had going on in my life to certain people, it ended up being one of those situations where it's like, you need to get your stuff together and you sitting here worried about everything else. And that it's something you need to hear. But at the same time, for me, it was like I didn't want to hear that. But at the same time, it made me look at myself and think, well, you went to these people expecting some type of sympathy and they gave you the cold hard truth. So if this is what you're going to be dealing with, you need to stop going to other people, telling them things just to get something you're not going to get. And that's when I started realizing that I don't need to deal with people the way I've been dealing with them before. I don't have to tell people everything that's going on in my life. It's not necessarily I'm moving sneaky or anything like that, but it's just like I don't have to talk to people on a consistent basis, and I don't have to tell them what's going on in my life. They ask. If I decide to tell them, I decide to tell them. But at the same time, it's like I'm at a period where change is something that I feel like I have to go through mostly alone. Like I said, I have this one person that's by my side, and I talk to my brother every now and then. I have my parents, but it's like I'm not in a space where I feel like I have to communicate everything. And I think that's a lot of growth, because when I was younger, I had to tell somebody everything that I had going on in my life. And that never worked out for me. And I remember I talked about this before in one of my videos, how I think it was Anna Akana that was talking about this type of thing, how you basically go and say all these different things you have going on in your life to seek some type of attention from somebody. And that would be how I made friends, in a sense. I say friends because none of those people that I talk to like that are really in my life. I still only have a handful of friends, and even at this new job, I'm not making any more friends. Like, we're cordial, but we're not friends. Like, we say what's up, we might talk every now and then, and that's it. Because I'm not gonna say I'm not trying to make new friends, but I realize, based on the last experience I've had dealing with people, I think from this year I've gained one friend. And that's the person that's been by my side the longest time, basically since I met her. None of the other people that I really deal with, which, I'd say we're associates. We were close. Not this person, but the other people that I was cool with. They liked me. A lot of people at my old job liked me because I was the cool boss. Didn't really care too much about anything as long as you got the job done. I'm not gonna sit here and toot my own horn, but I'm a funny guy. People like my jokes and stuff like that. They're cool. They like being around me because I'm not trying to carry on. Well, I'm not trying to stress them out, pretty much. You have a lot of people, from my experience working where I've worked, a lot of people that just do a lot too much, in my opinion. And you don't like dealing with that, so you typically go to the person that doesn't give you all of that. And at the last couple months of me being at the job, I really stopped caring about a lot of different things, because I was like, this isn't going anywhere. And once you stop caring about something, that's when it's time for you to move on from it. And I just was too lazy to really put my best foot forward and going somewhere better. And I won't even necessarily say that this new job is better per se, but it's something. I have a job. If I decide to leave it, I can go somewhere else and deal with that and see if that's better. I have opportunities to go and do things. If that makes sense. And I kind of wanted to get back on the YouTube thing because I want to explore different things that I feel like would make me happy, because working overnight really leads me to just sleeping all day. And so many days have gone by that I literally would do nothing but be in bed all day, maybe eat once. And I've lost a lot of weight. I don't know if I've lost a lot of weight per se, but I'm definitely smaller than I was before. Part of that comes from not eating. I feel like another part of that comes from the fact that I haven't that I've been, with overnight, I'm stalking, so it's a little more active than my other job, because it's like a basically everyday thing. I work 5 days out the week, but consistently lifting things for over 8 hours kind of changes you. And then every now and then I still work out. I've been trying to do more kickboxing. I got resistance bands, so I've been using them to really get back into kickboxing. And the only problem is I don't eat consistently enough to really give myself the energy. And I'm not going to overeat to try and gain any weight back, because, I like the way I look. And I feel like it's somewhat healthy. Like, I still have a little bit of a belly, but it's skinnier. My arms look better. I'm content with my physique. I feel like it's internal that I have to work on. Like my chest, kind of tight. I need to drink more water, because when I sleep all day, I wake up dehydrated because you're not drinking the water. So I have to work on that, eat more vegetables, eat more fruit, stuff like that. I've been trying to eat a little healthier, so every now and then I cook something, which cooking is interesting. I'm still learning some of the kinks of cooking, like raw meat. Like, I cook it to completion. It's just making sure it's properly seasoned and stuff like that. I'm working on it. I was thinking about doing kind of vlogs on those, but a lot of times I don't even feel like cooking at the time. So it's like, what's the point of vlogging it? But I feel like, that's something I might want to get back into, because I keep saying I'm not worried about views, and then I don't get any views. And it's kind of like, what's the point? That isn't necessarily why I stopped recording. This past time I stopped recording, it's just I didn't really have any interest in doing it. But I've been kind of exploring, myself a lot more, because I've been at a point where, I'm I'm trying to work on relationships with people. And I didn't realize until like a couple different times throughout these past couple months why a lot of the relationships that I've tried to have failed. One is the biggest thing was not realizing what the relationship was supposed to be in the beginning. There's been a couple of people that I honestly would have been better off never talking to the way that I tried to talk to, but because I felt like I needed something more, or that there was a potential for something more in that relationship, I decided to pursue it. And honestly, I'm not, especially back then, shoot, the last person I tried to talk to really tore up everything that I had built up that year. And that's because I allowed them to. I was really getting to a 24 minutes in, and I finally had my first mistake. I think I'm doing good. But I was finally getting to a place where I was really confident with life, and I felt like I was moving forward with something. And then I lapsed and fell into the deepest parts of my depression and anxiety. And honestly, I started recovering from it. It's always that period of time where it's like you still feel it because the wounds are fresh. But I don't know, from all the relationships I dealt with, the only thing that I've ever come out on the other side with is more problems and trying to be colder, cutting off my emotions because I've been hurt. That isn't a good place to be at for me. And I realized many different times that my emotions have always been my problem. You know, anything I feel comes from years of feeling the same feelings over and over again and never doing anything about it. You know, my anger has been the biggest thing because of the fact that that holds a lot of pain and hurt. Because I just want better for myself when it comes to relationships. But I keep putting myself in those relationships that aren't going to get better and aren't going to do better for me because I'm not working on doing better for myself. You know, and I'm not setting the right boundaries and I keep letting the same things happen. And it's just not a beneficial journey for me. And what I'm trying to pursue now has been an eye opener because, you know, when you deal with somebody that's different from all the people you've dealt with, it kind of forces you to be different. You know, I've spent a lot of time looking inward, trying to figure out what my problem is emotionally. And I feel like I've been doing better. You know, a lot of things are starting to click and a lot of things are starting to make sense. And one of those things that I feel like need to work on is getting back to living a life that I can be happy with. And I always say that a lot. I say that so much because it's the truth. You know, you get to a point where you're happy with life, and then for me, I let something get in the way, and later on, when it doesn't work out, boom, I'm in a worse position than I was before when I could have just left it alone from the get-go. I say all that to say that I've come to a lot of different realizations about a lot of different things. And, you know, looking back on a lot of different relationships really have taught me a lot of different things that I need to work on. And a lot of different things that I feel like I've improved on in a sense. But there's a lot of things I need to let go of. And it's like, when it's already a lot going on in the world, there's a lot going on in my circle. I'm not going to talk about everything that's going on because frankly, it's none of y'all's business. It's not something that I want to divulge to the world, but it's been a lot of loss and a lot of change. And when you feel like so much is going on in your life, you don't want to change more, if that makes sense. Like you hold on to this sense of normalcy for you because a lot of different things around you aren't normal anymore. You come home one day and you discover that the house that you're used to is being rebuilt. It's not the same anymore. And that's hard to deal with when just last week something else happened, you know. It's been a very emotional roller coaster just these past couple months. And I don't even want to say it's been hard to adjust to because a lot of things are hindsight for me. And I feel like that's another thing that I need to work on is dealing with things in hindsight because there's a lot of foresight that I have. You know, I might make stupid jokes. I might be oblivious to a lot of different things, a lot of different people's feelings, but I'm not an idiot. I can see a lot of different things and I can feel a lot of different things. If I really sat down and took time to acknowledge how I felt and what I needed to change. And that's the biggest thing for me that I've been realizing is the fact that if I literally, I feel like this, I told my brother this, if I sat down and thought about all the different things that I wanted to do and what it would take to do it, I could have a solution to so many of my problems, I feel like. I might not have the best direction to go in to deal with some of these things, but I feel like I would be a lot further ahead mentally than, not even mentally, because it's in the back of my mind. It's just putting it into the physical reality of the world that if I really sat down and I thought about everything that I needed to think about when I needed to think about it, I would not deal with most of the things that I was dealing with, and my life would be different. But the crazy thing is, I'm sort of scared of the person that I would become if I took my focus off of everything that did not benefit me, if that makes sense. Because there's so much that I put my focus on, especially relationships. I would literally drop everything in the world for a relationship that wasn't even gonna work out. And I knew it wasn't gonna work out, is the crazy thing. Because I couldn't take it for what it was. And the only time I've ever truly been hurt wasn't even really because of the people that I was dealing with. It's because I kept forcing myself to deal with something that wasn't right for me, thinking that it was going to get better. That's why none of the relationships that I've tried to forge have worked out. It always ended up with me choosing myself or getting left behind, because at the end of the day, that's all that was ever going to happen. The problem with choosing yourself is a lot of times you don't see what's wrong with you that led you to deal with all these things in the first place. You know, at the end of the day, I decided to choose myself and cut it off. But that emotional baggage and damage that I attached and took on is still there. It's not healed. And honestly, I kind of feel like I need a therapist, but at the same time, I kind of feel like I'm my own therapist because, like I said, I have so many more answers in myself that I just refuse to look at because I think about how different my life would be, how alone my life would feel, because me knowing everything that I know and need to know, I feel like would leave me in a place where I don't deal with anybody. And that's been why I've dealt with all these relationships that I've dealt with before, because I was always scared of just being alone, focusing on myself and my goals. Craziest thing is, focusing on so many other people hasn't benefited me. And I feel like that's why right now I've been in the place that I've been in, really only circling between two of my friends. Well, three depending on the day. You know, I don't talk to and I don't keep up with most people in my life anymore because I know that there's this period where I need to isolate myself and refocus and rebrand on everything. And that's kind of why I'm making this video. I make these videos like every couple months, you know, it's the same thing. But I feel like things change. I'm definitely in a different place mentally, and I'm continuing to work on it. But it's just so much realization that comes with really looking at yourself. Dealing with people who help you figure yourself out is a blessing. Because I'll admit, you need help sometimes. And I've been one of those people that dealt with his things alone for the longest time. And I've hated it. But at the same time, after dealing with so much stuff, it's not that bad. You just can't let yourself fall into that pit of depression that I've allowed myself to fall in numerous times this month. So there's that. But I also wanted to make this video because I started getting into PlayStation Now. That's why you've been hearing my PS4 title screen this whole time. I feel like it's nice ambiance, depending on how loud it is in the video. And I was looking at all the old games that, you know, you can play. And I was thinking about doing gameplay videos of different games. I kind of just like discovering games. The problem that I have is every time I record a game and I put my mic in it, I'm working on the audio issue because you hear the game perfectly fine when I record without the mic. But with the mic, you can hear the game, you can hear me, and then you can hear the game through my mic while you hear the game playing. So it's like an echo, and I hate the echo because I feel like it ruins the gameplay. The only way I've been able to work that is basically turning the TV all the way down, but I still want to hear the game. So I want to explore if there's a possibility for me to, I don't know, listen to the audio through like a headset and still be able to record my microphone so it doesn't have that echo. If not, I was thinking about just recording videos from my PS4 and just uploading them without my commentary in it. Because I mean, I feel like my commentary isn't all that exciting anyway, depending on the game. Like if I'm doing a playthrough, I would want to do the commentary, like when I was playing The Walking Dead. So I honestly need to get back into that too. I feel like I just want to upload different gameplay videos from old games, either old games that I remember. Like I think Dark Cloud or something like that. That's an old PS2 game that I played in my childhood, and I didn't even know it had a sequel. So I wanted to play that a little bit, kind of like maybe like a first look at some games and stuff like that. I know y'all don't really mess with my gameplay videos. Y'all don't really mess with any of my videos as of late because I don't upload enough for it to be like, oh, let me check out, Dale's video, see what he doing, because, he finally consistently uploading. I'm not worried about that, to be honest with you. I'm glad, like I said, that I still have the 27 subscribers. Y'all ain't going nowhere. Some of them I'm a little concerned about because, I subscribe to you, you subscribe to me, I enjoyed your content. And I guess you just like me enough to subscribe to me. I appreciate that. But where y'all been at? There's two people I have in mind that used to do Left 4 Dead videos, Source Filmmaker Left 4 Dead videos. I ain't seen them upload nothing in months, if not years. And I need to make sure y'all good, because y'all had a staple in my life. Where y'all at? But yeah, I felt like it would make more sense to upload a video like this and explore the fact that I plan on playing games again. I think it would be best if I take certain days and just record gameplay and then upload them throughout the week or so. I might do, like, I downloaded Undertale, so I might do a playthrough of that. I just want to do playthroughs. There's yeah. I just downloaded the Shin Megami Tensei 3 HD remaster because that was one of my favorite games when I used to have a PS3, and that game being remastered, I'm so glad. I'm upset that they don't have Persona 4 or Persona 3 on the PlayStation 4 because like Persona 3 had such a hold on my childhood. I never completed it. Persona 4 I always wanted to play, especially Golden, and I definitely wanted to play Persona 4 Arena again because that was one of my favorite games too, both of them. And I gave my PS3 away because I wasn't playing it no more. But those were the only platforms, that's the only platform I could play those games on. Well, Persona 4, I don't think I could even play on, I think I could play it on PS3. It's just so disappointing. Like, there's those games, the Dragon Ball Z, like Budokai's the Ultimate Ninjas of Naruto, Resident Evil Outbreak, Capcom. Stop giving us these terrible side games that come with your remasters. Just give us Outbreak, remaster Outbreak. I don't care if you make a new Outbreak with completely different cast. Just give us Outbreak. Just give us a good co-op game that we can play that isn't Resistance or whatever y'all doing now. Like, please. Outbreak is one of my favorite games ever. And I was just about to pop it in and play it on my PlayStation 2 just to find out that thing is so old it won't even boot up the game. Broke my spirit. That was a bad day for everyone. And I'm not buying a new PS2. Maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to get rich before I decide to make any of these long-lasting decisions of buying this and that. But please, Capcom, Resident Evil Outbreak. It's literally all I ask from you. They keep trying to remake Resident Evil 4. We do not need 5 remasters of that. I Outbreak, please. That's all I want. And if they would release Outbreak and Outbreak 2 like they did with Resident Evil Revelations, it's rap. Anyway, some games I might do a one-off because I just downloaded some games like House of Dead. I was thinking about playing Silent Hill 3. It's Silent Hill 1 and Silent Hill 3 I downloaded. I was thinking about playing those. I might do a playthrough of them. There's some games I want to do a playthrough. There's other games I want to do like a one-off look at. Like, oh yeah, this game is on. Yeah, it's straight or whatever. It's cool. But it's not really going to be up to the viewers because, like I said, I'm not too worried about that. I get 1 or 2 views, and it might be me checking up on my video to make sure it's the way I want it to be. So I'm not worried about that. I want to upload gameplay videos. Every now and then I might do one of these type of videos. We'll see. And depending on how I feel, it might be commentary in the gameplay videos. If not, it is what it is. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Ain't no telling when I'm gonna upload a video again. Maybe today, maybe a couple days from now. We'll see. But that's it for this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm not dead. I'm not going anywhere just yet. You know, if something happens, we'll see. YouTube going through a lot of changes, I guess. I still don't have nothing monetized. I'm kind of trying to work on that too, because I want to get back into some more side hustles that I feel like would be beneficial. I feel like YouTube would pay off if I wanted to consistently do it. I mean, I kind of also feel like I don't necessarily bring nothing new to the table per se, but at the same time, the fact that it's me and not somebody else, I feel like it's something new. It's just my motivations to do it, whether I am motivated or not. That's really all the difference. So we'll see. I want to keep uploading. I want to keep doing different things that excite me. You know, I don't want to keep living a stagnant life that I've been living for these past couple months. So yeah, if you decide to comment on here, give me a suggestion for games you might want me to play. I know the last time I did a suggestion was Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and I'm sorry what your name was. I do not remember. I remember your request from a long time ago. I think I uploaded a video anyway. It was very disappointing. Wasn't the best at the game, but yeah, any game you feel like you might want to see me play, PlayStation Now, a game I might have to buy, a game I might already own, let me know. Other than that, I'll just play whatever I want. I'm out.